everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new, and welcome to my March reading wrap up, where I read a lot more than I thought I had. I just sat together and I've done my list with all my ratings and everything, and I read 13 books in March. And I really thought it was a bit of a dud reading month. I thought I only read maybe half a dozen, so I'm quite chuffed with that. So I'm not going to waffle anymore, I'm going to dive straight in. So the first book that I read was the third book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. So this one was Before Your Memory Fades. I'd been sent an arc of it on NetGalley to review, but the physical copy came in the library, so I read that. But I have returned it, hence me not showing it to you now. And basically, if you're not familiar with that series, it's about a coffee shop where you can go back in time, but there's certain rules, but you can visit loved ones, and you've got to be back basically before the coffee gets cold. Otherwise you're sort of trapped. But you can go forward or back in time, and it's a bit awkward because some of the rules are like you've got to basically know exactly where you're going and know that the person that you want to speak to is going to be in a coffee shop at that time. It's a bit bizarre, but anyway, there's 4 stories normally in each book, and in this one, again, I connected with some of the stories, a couple that I didn't, but you've got people going back to see like past wives or girlfriends and husbands and things, and yeah, it was all right. It's okay. I think it's going to be one of those series, because I've got one more to read already, and I know there's another one coming out. It's going to be one of those series that, you know, where you think they probably should have stopped at 2 or 3, because it does get a little repetitive, particularly going through the rules on every sort of person. And for me, maybe I'll read the next one, but I will probably stop the series there. I don't think I'm worried about picking up the 5th book. But because I was sent the arc of the 4th book, I feel that I need to at least give that a go. But yeah, this one was a 3 out of 5. It wasn't brilliant, but I think the series, to be honest, has been a 3 out of 5. It was one of those books, it sounds like a great concept, and then just for me, just didn't quite do it. But anyway, it was fine. What did I read then? Oh, partner and I read an audiobook actually on the way to and from a job in London. We read Finn by Stephen King. It was only about an hour or so. It was about basically a lad that gets kidnapped, but there's a bit more to it, and you think, should he have been kidnapped? Was it meant to be someone else? It was the sort of vibes of maybe a doppelganger or something. We hated it. It was a 1 out of 5 star. Gutted, because we'd listened to a couple of half-decent audiobooks before that, but that was a bit of a dead duck. Anyway, then I continued in this lovely series. Was this the Never After? Yeah, the Never After series. I finished Scarred at the beginning of the month by Emily McIntyre. This, every single time I put on the fireplace background, it's like, let's have some ads, and it drives me nuts. It's only got 11 seconds. You're just gonna have to suck it up with me, I'm afraid. We back? No! Oh my goodness, come on. Anyway, I won't pay for YouTube Premium. I'm sorry, judge me. Anyway, this one is kind of like a Lion King retelling, because our main character's nickname basically is Scar. And this is more set in sort of like a royal atmosphere, where this girl is sort of set up to marry the king and ends up maybe falling for someone else. There's smut in it, of course there's smut in it. Not a horrific amount. There is as much plot as there is smut in these books, which I quite like. It was fine. It was a 4 out of 5 star for me. I didn't love it as much as I loved Hooked, but I'm quite excited to finish the series, at least continue with it. We'll see how it goes. Then, what did I read? Oh, now we're going backwards. Right, okay. I finally finished The Atlas Complex. So this is book 3 in whatever we're calling this series. Do we know, is this series even got a name? Just the Atlas Trilogy. And I'm pleased because it finished off a series for me. I'm gutted though, because I loved the Atlas 6. I found the Atlas Paradox okay. I didn't really care for this. It was good to have the roundup, but I suppose this was kind of, so basically if you're not familiar with the series, I don't want to give you spoilers, that's why I'm trying to work out what to tell you. So in the Atlas 6 we have 6 sort of magicians, if you like. They've got different abilities. So one can sort of grow and cultivate life, kind of like with nature. A couple of physicists who can control the atmosphere and move things. You've got someone that can manipulate people's emotions. Someone that can sort of like read minds. So different basically skills, and they are competing for a place in this society, the Alexandrian society, basically. And I like the first one because you're getting to know the characters and you're getting to find out a bit about the society. Then it's left on a bit of a cliffhanger, which is kind of resolved in the second book, and then you sort of see everything going a little bit chaotic, and it's like, this book's kind of like, are they going to stay in the society? Are they going to try and take it down? What's going to go on? I kind of, when I read a book that involves a magic school society, that's what I want to be the focus, and then the characters. When they sort of leave their base and they do all these other things, I tend to lose interest, and unfortunately that is exactly what happened in this series for me. That's why I just started off strong and then kind of went a bit meh, but I'm still pleased that I read it. So, but this took me a very long time to read, possibly over a month, which is a bit gutting, but hey, I've read it. What did I read after that? Oh, a little tiny one, which I was going to add to my April TBR, and then I think I just read this on the evening of the 31st of March. This is Birthday Kisses. This is book 2.5 in the Lancaster Prep series by Monica Murphy, which basically is a prep school smutfest. Every book, every page, they're either thinking about sex, talking about sex, or having sex. And this one, basically, you've got to join two of the characters who life has kind of got in the way, basically, of their main relationship, and they kind of got like a little mini break to bring it back together again. It was really sweet. It was a cute little read. What did I give it? 4 out of 5. It was only about 50 pages, but it was a fun evening. Then, oh, Lucky Hit by Hannah Cohen. This I read on my Kindle, so I can't show you. This was an ice hockey romance. It's your typical ice hockey romance. He's the player. He's just joined a team. She's fallen for him. You know, they both got a lot of things going on in their lives that they support each other through. And it was just a sweet, soppy romance. I'm getting into hockey romances, and I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was fine. I can't read my own writing now. Oh, yes, I can. The Shadow Cabinet. Right. So this is the sequel to Her Majesty's Royal Coven. And now I read both of these in March. This was a reread for me because I wanted to read this one. I only gave this 3 out of 5 stars on my first read, but I listened to it via audio. Picking it up and reading it physically, it jumped to a 4 out of 5 stars. I think I miss things listening to it in the audiobook, because inevitably I'm out walking or I'm doing housework or I'm doing a bit of work, and I'm going to tune out every now and then. So really enjoyed the reread. So basically, Her Majesty's Royal Coven is a coven of witches. We focus on 4 or 5 friends who sort of grow up together, and you see their different aspects of their life. So in these 2 books, we've got like sister drama, we've got relationship drama with someone's got someone cheating on them, we've got someone finding love and moving on after the death of a partner. They've got kids, some of them as well, and the witch gene is sort of passed on through females, so you've got 1 or 2 of their kids that are becoming witches as well. On top of this, you've got people trying to take the coven down, you've got warlocks, you've got somebody going bad, power get into their head. So we've got a transgender witch in this as well, and you've got her not being identified as a woman initially, and you know, sort of the battle of should she be classed as a warlock and shouldn't be admitted to an all-female coven. You've got people going, no, hang on a minute. So there's so much going on, so much in these books, and I really enjoyed them. So they were both a 4 out of 5 star for me. I'm very, very chuffed that on NetGalley I have been sent Queen Bee, which is another book in this series, but it's a prequel. So we go back to the days of Anne Boleyn being a witch. I'm so excited to read those. That I really, really am. I'm loving this series now, and considering I wasn't even going to bother after just the first one being a 3 out of 5 star on a reread, I'm so pleased that I did go back to it. So thank you NetGalley for giving me the push on that, because I got okayed for the shadow cabinet and sent the ARC. So I was like, oh, do you know what, let's just reread HMRC and just see how I feel, and I'm so pleased that I did. If you're wondering what that is in the background, this little pickle. So next on the list I have The Last Book Wanderer in the Pages & Co. This is a book 5, I think it is, in the Pages & Co series now. 6? Is it book 6? No. Wow, it's book 6. Anyway, this is a magical middle grade by Anna James series. It is so much fun. Basically, we joined Tilly and her friends, who are book wanderers, so they can wander in and out of books, as can characters. And in different books we see different characters, so we go from sort of like Robin Hood, Alice in Wonderland. In this one we had Merlin, we had Hades, and it was a good time. Basically, drama happens in everyone. She's with her friends, they're there to kick butt against people that maybe don't want them to book wander. It's just a fun magical middle grade, and it's another series that I've finished. Brilliant. I didn't realise it was 6 books, but I've thoroughly enjoyed these. I have to say, different ones I like better than than each other. So the first one was really, really good. Loved the first one. This one was a 3 out of 5 stars. It depends if you like the characters that basically they're book wandering with. I don't necessarily find Arthur, Merlin and that particularly interesting. So maybe this one I didn't enjoy quite as much as I did where we sort of start off with like Anne of Green Gables and Alice in Wonderland and that, you know, so it depends, but it was still a very good time. Definitely enjoyed it. What did I read after that? Oh, What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Everyone raves about... Seriously, another advert? Seriously? Are you extracting the Michael? Of course it is. Of course it is. How many seconds? We can skip it in 3 seconds. Do we need to? Yes. Right. Everyone raves about T. Kingfisher, and I was so pleased to find this in a charity shop for £2 on one of my last charity shop runs. This was, what does it say it is? So it's like a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's classic The Fall of the House of Usher. Now, it wasn't something I was familiar with. Sounded an interesting premise. Basically, a lot of fungus taking over people, a lot of weirdness. I didn't care for it at all. I'm not going to play ball with you now. Are you serious? You're not familiar with the concept of vlogging, are you, darling? I know, and I love you so much. Now's not the time, honey. It's not the time. Every sit-down video, we end up playing ball. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And now's not the time. Now's not the time. Anyway, yeah. I didn't care for it. It made me feel physically sick in places. But mostly I just found it boring. So I gave it a generous 2 out of 5 stars, which, to be honest, I'm now thinking it was probably more a 1 out of 5 star for me. I'm not going to reread this. And I'm gutted because everyone raves about this author. I was so sure I was going to love it, and for me, no. Such a shame. What I read then? Oh, I read The Troublemakers. So this is by Tamsin Merchant. It is the 3rd book in the Hatmakers series. Again, this is rounding off a series. For me, it was good. So basically, we have different families. We have the Hatmakers. There's sort of the boot makers, the cloak makers, cane makers, etc., who all basically have gone through dramas with making. Certain families are blessed with the ability to put magical abilities into these things that they make. So we focus basically on Cordelia Hatmaker and her family, and she has friends as well, who go on, again, like the other book, a lot of magical adventures where they're solving all sorts of problems. In this one, got a bit of a kidnapping situation. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you the details, but I really would recommend this series, actually. I really, really would. This and Pages & Co. are possibly the... Oh, no, I can't say they're the best, because I'm thinking now Starfell and Rainbow Grey. They're just really good middle grade series, okay? Would definitely recommend, because friendship is such an important element throughout. As is family, as is being who you're meant to be. You know, fighting against people that are trying to put you down, tell you can't do things. And there's a lot of important messages that you don't even realise that you're taking away until the end of the book, because it's just so beautifully written. It's really fast paced, full of magic and excitement, and I really loved it. I really did. I don't think there's gonna be another one in that series, but if there is, I'm picking it up. 2 more books. So I then read 14 Days by Margaret Atwood. That was a 2024 release for me that I was really excited to read. I got it out of the library, returned it because it was reserved, hence me not showing it to you. But it fell short for me, 3 out of 5 stars. So basically it's about a block of flats in COVID times where the residents meet on the roof at night and they tell each other stories. And it's we're focused with like the keeper, I can't think of the word, the person that looks after the building, and she's recording the stories and writing them down. And you kind of get stage like, these are really random people, always random stories. Some are really good, some were a bit boring, and to be honest, it was on track to be a 1 or 2 star for me. The ending pushed it up to a 3, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers. But for me, the last paragraph, well, not the last paragraph, the last chapter definitely picked it up a star, so do with that what you will. Last book I read this month was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Now, Ali Hazelwood has been a 5-star author for me. I don't care if her sciencey books are all the same, I eat them all up. I loved every single one, all 5-star for me, bloody brilliant. So then I love the chess book, Checkmate, that was brilliant. Really excited to pick this up. Here we have a vampire who ends up in a relationship with a werewolf. Yes, it's as strange as it sounds. And I didn't really care for it. It was 3 out of 5 stars. It was fine, but it was just fine. Okay, I like the characters, the plot line. I don't know. Maybe for me, either make it fantasy or make it romance. This romantasy, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And for me, it just fell a bit short, and I'm a bit gutted. I don't know how I feel about it really. Maybe I should reread it in the future, I don't know, but from going from all her other books being 5-star and being so chuffed to that was just a bit of a downer. But anyway, April's going well. It is it's the 7th today, and I've finished 4 books, and I'm on track to maybe finish a 5th book today, if not tomorrow, so we're doing okay. But this is my stack for March. I'm going to return some of these to the library. It was a mixed reading month. There was a lot of 4-star, which isn't bad, but to have 1 or 2 stars is absolutely gutting. But anyway, if you read any of those books, please let me know what you think, what you thought. You know, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Please tell me, and we can chat about why, because I'm just nosy. And if any of those are on your TBR, let me know again. And I shall see you in my next video.